Determining the generation of an iPad can be a bit tricky, as the exterior design of the device doesn't always change significantly from one generation to the next. However, there are a few key ways to tell which generation of iPad you have. One of the easiest ways to determine the generation of an iPad is by looking at the model number. The model number is located on the back of the device, near the bottom, and starts with the letters A. The second and third digits of the model number indicate the generation of the iPad. For example, an iPad with the model number A1474 is from the 4th generation, while an iPad with the model number A1893 is from the 6th generation. Another way to determine the generation of an iPad is by looking at the size and resolution of the device's display. The first generation iPad, for example, has a 9.7-inch display with a resolution of 1024 by 768, while the 4th generation iPad has a 9.7-inch display with a resolution of 2048 by 1536. The newer models have bigger screens or different resolutions. You can also check the connector of the device. The first generation iPad has a 30-pin connector for charging and syncing, while the 4th generation iPad and newer models have a Lightning connector. Additionally, you can check the operating system and the features of the device. For example, the first generation iPad can only run up to iOS 5.1.1, while the latest models can run the latest iOS version. Lastly, you can check the device's storage capacity and the camera features. Newer models have bigger storage capacity and better camera features. Identifying the generation of your iPad is relatively easy. The most reliable way to tell what Gen iPad you have is to look at the model number on the back of your device. Each iPad model has a unique model number that indicates its generation. For example, an A1474 model number corresponds to an iPad Air 1st generation, while an A1893 model number corresponds to an iPad 6th generation. Another way to tell what generation your iPad is by checking the operating system version it runs. Generally speaking, iPads from 5th generation and earlier run iOS 11 or earlier versions, while iPads from 6th generation and later run iOS 12 or later versions. Finally, you can also check Apple's website for a list of all the iPads released since 2010 and compare their specs with those of your device. This will help you determine which generation your iPad belongs to. In conclusion, the easiest way to tell which generation of iPad you have is by looking at the model number. However, you can also determine the generation by looking at the device's display size and resolution, connector, operating system, features, and storage capacity. By using a combination of these methods, you should be able to easily determine which generation of iPad you have.